Yeah, I think it's just becoming more obvious as well as we go forward, like, and a lot of information's, starting to circulate again. So, it's interesting that they show us the world's crumbling. That's what they want us to believe. It's the apocalypse, the end times. Oh my God. Don't do anything, don't fight, just wait for your
Uh,
savior. It's
yeah.
all going to crumble. But of course, that's just all the 2D world, all the crap. It's all fear mongering, and it's all not true. It's not happening. I mean, the system's collapsing and crumbling,
Yeah.
which is great. But the world, she's fine.
Yeah, she's pretty good. And I can attest to that because one of the things that I did in the last 3 weeks was to actually like pretty much like take my any sort of online interaction down to minimal, things I had to do for work and things like this. And, maybe a few seconds here and there. And, honestly, you can tell that like once that's off, and you're just there in your life, like there's no apocalypse going on. You know what I mean? Like it's so still and so quiet and it feels so stable. Like all of this instability is all running through this situation here, isn't it? And which is ironic for us because we use this platform to connect with everyone, but the facts are this is the platform that's skizzing everything out, not YouTube and specifically, but being
Mm.
online all the time.
Yeah, 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 which is interesting with all this cyber ID stuff coming on as well, like what effect that'll have. But I mean, yeah, we've got to start wondering how much, we're getting from the internet from scrolling and that. I mean, of course, this show is awesome and amazing, and you should keep watching it. But yeah, but it's the
If
same
you
thing. Like,
want.
it's full of the internet's so full of crap and all the bots. Now there's bot music and all this kind of stuff. But
Bot
it's
music.
bot music. Yeah, yeah. Spotify just deleted 75 million
What? What?
AI
What are you
bloody
talking about?
songs. AI music.
What?
Yeah, yeah.
I've not heard of this.
There's proper AI bands now.
What?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And they're getting
What?
out there. There's
Makes sense.
an AI music studio got launched where it's just going to produce 100% AI music.
Mm.
And of course, the musicians aren't happy. And then Spotify, well, they said they've deleted 75 million songs. They've only got 100 million in their thing, which is crazy. But they're also promoting, like putting all this money into promote AI music.
Yeah.
It's a whole agenda, right? They want everything to be 2D, like soulless, in their image, right? Soulless crap.
Yeah.
Mm.
And and that same with digital as well. Acting, digital acting, which is an interesting one. They won't need the celebrities. Well, they'll need the celebrities, but not in the context of them actually acting. That'll just be all like, you know, like licensing their image and
Yeah.
very Black Mirror. But, there was a whole episode on Black Mirror about that. Do you remember that? Where the actor was like put in situations
Everybody
that,
hates Joan. Was that the one?
yeah,
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 that was
yeah.
good.
Yeah, well, I mean, obviously the arts is going to obviously get full with AI, obviously, because that was like their first, and that is their web, if you like. That's the web, is the arts. But we get into
Hmm.
that. So,
Yeah, yeah. So you've been contemplating the realm and existence for 2 weeks on your own. What have you come up with?
yeah, I know. Settle in, my friend, settle in. It's quite a journey. All right, he has to leave the room.
Talk too
Yes,
much.
You should really roll yourself a ciggy today, my friend.
Tell myself a ciggy.
And Canberra doesn't smoke online. Why do you choose that, by the way? I've always wanted to ask you why.
I don't know. I just don't know. I
Are
have
you, is
before,
it?
I'm sure. It's just not a habit like your habits. Like, oh my gosh, we're recording. Quick, roll a
Yeah.
ciggy.
Yeah. Well, that's right. Um, yeah, so I have been on a solo like mission of the last couple of weeks. And one of the things that I wanted to see is like, the last show was talking about the internet crack and how we're in this echo chamber and starting to look at what that actually means. And last night we even extended that conversation with the thing, and most people don't even know this. So, I mean, I'm sure you guys know this, but I don't know what you've done about it, which is like every 5 seconds from our cameras on any device, it's taking a photo. Every 5 seconds, junk, junk, a junk. Now, like we've seen those videos where they've got like the infrared cameras on the cameras and you can see it's happening every 5 seconds, right? So this laptop, your laptop, our phones, any smart devices, every 5 seconds. Now, like, and it's not just about taking photos of you. And by the way, that's how the telepathic ghostly algorithms work. Because it's not just taking photos of you, it's also potentially sending information into your brain. So like the more AI advanced version of subliminals in between the frames of movies, like it's
Mm.
quick and infinitely unconscious to it. We're unconscious to it, but very easy conceptually to understand they would be sending information into our brains as well as taking information out, which would mean that we have formed a biocircuit between our devices and our biology and made more prominent if you've taken their poisons and
Mm.
fueled your system with their you know what would be the word? Yeah, their
Nanotechnology.
bots, their metals, whatever it is that's
Mm.
connecting and wiring and firing. So then you've got like one of the most cleverest and insidious hypnotic trances that are impacting the world today. And that's something that everyone on this channel should actually consider. Campbell and I actually was like, oh my God, how come no one's invented like a fucking little thing you can put on all your cameras and just like, because I use blue tack, which is so annoying. So
Mm.
we went on last night to look for one, and of course they have invented it. So I guarantee that everyone, or really recommend that everyone goes and spends $5. They're very cheap, and get these little plastic clips that you can just like slide on and off over your camera on all your devices. And it's interesting, Cam, because we were saying yesterday, this has nothing to do with my theory, by the way, but we were saying yesterday that over the last 30 years, we as conscious human beings, whatever was the difference between us and everyone else, started to like do some random things that we didn't know what we were doing in the long run, the impact that we have. And the very first one that happened systematically across what you'd call the truth movement back then was fluoride.
All right, the water. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though we didn't understand the broader implication, we all kind of went off fluoride, which then decalcified or protected our sort of like beautiful
Pineal
minds.
gland. Yeah.
And then we went to we there was a whole strain of docos on genetically modified food, right? And the food industry and the toxicity of it and glyphosates. So we all kind of like changed our diets to the best of our ability and moved away from toxic shit in the food, their
Mm.
poison.
Yeah. Processed foods. Yeah.
And then we started to learn about mercury and the impact that has in dental practices. So a lot of people got mercury fillings taken out.
Mm.
And and then of course the whole like medical pharmaceutical industry that became very exposed, so then everyone stopped trusting the doctor and stopped taking anything the doctor was prescribing, and all those little steps over the last 30 years has gifted us like a vehicle that's relatively clear, right?
Yeah. 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 Clear and clean, man.
Which is then, I would say, the end result of that has been what we now know as the rise and the formation of the truth community.
Mm. Yeah. Yeah. The awakening, right? I guess.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
of course, yeah, we're the ones that went down all the rabbit holes early, right? And it started spreading information and telling people and getting it out there as well.
yeah. So, like, it's not like this accident thing that happened. We just happened to take steps along the journey that protected our vehicles from programming. So, when it came to this moment of a big like line in the sand, there was a big obvious group in the on the realm that actually like said a very clear and strong no and wouldn't even consider it.
Yeah,
And that's
yeah,
because of
yeah.
the 30 years.
I think we just saw early on, right, how that well, first of all, we recognized that the government weren't our friends,
Mm.
and then that pretty much everything they recommend was, to harm us, and so we moved out, right? Like, we saw the end
We moved
early.
out.
We
We
moved
moved out.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, we did move out. And then, so then it brings it to today, right? So we've all done pretty well moving out of that space. But the reason I'm pointing this out is because off the back of last week's show, there's still things, everyone, that would be of great service for us all to understand. And one of them is this hypnotic flashing that happens off our devices
Yeah.
and our TVs. Anywhere there's a camera and it's wired to wireless, it's flashing at you. That's a hypnotic trance. So right now we've got like the most beautiful minds all scrolling and scrolling for the last 5 years and waiting for the next novelty thing to like get onto. And it's forming almost a loose trance just by default of this, I mean, built into their system, but relatively new information for most people, they're probably not taking care of this one. So I'm just pointing out there at the front of the show that, like, from this moment on, you should jump onto eBay or wherever and order some camera clips, something to hide your cameras. I just think it's a smart move
Yeah,
forward.
yeah. Well, they're releasing 6G now as well, and basically 6G, the whole concept behind it is to turn us into the antennas.
I think we already are.
So yes, well, some people are. But what are you broadcasting, I guess? But yeah, so that's a whole other reason. Like they're like already putting all this stuff, these pulses into
Yeah.
our subconscious. So
And also why maybe potentially why everyone was having the Trump dreams. You know, that could have
yeah,
been
yeah,
like
yeah.
information being flashed at us constantly until we had the dreams. I had three of those dreams, you know. So that if that's the case, it shows how susceptible we are to that sort of like infiltration. We don't really understand the concept of dreams very well, right? It's an edge, right? It's an edge. But
Mm.
yeah, I just like it was an interesting time thing where everyone was scrolling to the max hardcore. These
Mm.
cameras were flashing, and suddenly, systematic across the whole realm, everyone's having similar dreams. That's an interesting connection.
Yeah,
Just
yeah,
putting
and
it out there.
buying toilet paper. What the hell was that
Buying
all
toilet
about?
paper. Oh yeah, buying toilet
The
paper.
toilet paper. Like, was that coming through just was that a test? And to get people to comply for all these different things. Could even be used to get people out in the streets at the moment, right? With all this stuff that's going on. So we just don't know the depth of it, but just a good safety measure, right? To block off
Yeah.
the camera so it's not watching you, but also not programming you.
Yeah, and well, that's the key, isn't it? It's the
Mm.
programming. And the one of the traps the truth community in right now is that they are in a programmed loop. So as soon as
Yeah.
the thing that the human brain, we've talked about this, it will grab novelty. So like you're basically at the edge of what you're really going to understand about the truth movement, about truth at this point. And everything online is just a new tiny little fraction of a novelty, enough to keep you engaged. But what it's doing, if this like flashing is actually putting information into our heads and extracting it out, which reasons the algorithms seem to know what you're thinking without talking about it. Then also it would be like an AI bridge or version of us being the ones trying to discover the truth, also now being the ones push like creating it. So if you look at the
Yeah,
socials
yeah,
right now, it's
yeah, totally.
1000% dominated. The entire conversation is dominated with biblical end times, engineered prophecy and omens. Every other topic is bouncing off that framework. There are
Hmm.
so many
Christianity's
millions.
come so
Yeah,
so into all the channels. There's so many creators, of course, Mr. Kirk, that's still going on, that's a big Christian thing. But this is the thing, and we all know, right? We create reality by what we focus on. So by
yeah,
us focusing on all these prophecies, end time, engineered prophecies, right? Because we know it's not natural. Then we're helping to create it happen, right? At least we're helping to create that atmosphere where these things can be pushed out more. So
yeah.
yeah, this is what we've been talking a lot about, getting back to the 3D world lately.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's an interesting one for everyone to self-examine, you know, how much of what you're putting your energy into online is actually just holding up, maintaining, and projecting forward the very thing that, you know, is probably not the thing you want, which is an apocalyptic event or an end times event. Anything like that is not natural. It's not a natural event in alignment with nature, all engineered, right?
Mm,
All engineered, you know, but we as the ones asking the questions and seeking the answers are the ones now projecting it forward,
mm.
and the
Yeah,
whole framework is around biblical
yeah, totally. I mean,
religious, it's a
even
whole religious framework.
yeah, it is. That's what they're pushing. But even just around normal conspiracy theories, there's so much out there now,
Yeah,
and so much scrolling involved. So obviously, when you see through, the spell, then it doesn't affect you as much. But still, it's just the whole constant scrolling, sharing. Oh my God, did you see what happened here? Or there's floods there, and there's this there, and they're stopping travel here, and they're shutting this down there. I mean, we've said it before. If it's not affecting you personally, then it's not really your experience, and all you're doing by getting involved is sharing what they want to create.
And also, on that topic, as far as like projecting things forward, like this flashing like camera is it's got to be hypnotic, right? So
Hmm.
even if you think that you're free of the spell, the entire framework of the truth community online now is framed and delivered by this interaction between the AI and our consciousness. And
Mm.
the AI is framing, the Jewish AI is framing end times religious, like, pinnacle explosion, whatever's going to
Yeah,
happen.
the plan, right? They want us to all be completely online. They want all of our stuff, all of our conversations to be traceable and for them to have records on it, which is why we need to get the newspaper right, right? That no censoring, delivered to your door. It's physical. They can't come in and cross lines out or do any of this stuff.
The dog can wee on it.
The dog can weigh on it. You can read it in the day. And it's in the 3D world, right? It's an experience. You get to turn pages and stuff rather than staring at a screen.
That's right. And because it's not digitalized, it's not online, they don't know what's in it.
They don't know what's
They don't
in it.
know what's in it, which means we're completely uncensored, which is the way it should have always been. Anyway, I'm excited. So open up. The new submissions are open for the next edition. Obviously, now you guys are going to get some concept of what this all is about. I hope and I am sure that everything's going to continue to evolve. The articles, the content, the theories, the ads, the artwork are going to evolve and get better and better and better. Like this is like natural way. So in a year's time, this publication worldwide should be just probably I would say the most extraordinary publication in the realm. And
Mm.
that's pretty fucking cool, man.
It's cool, and it's whatever you want. Like we've had like big articles submitted. We've had just pictures with nothing. We've had like a picture and just a few lines of script. Whatever it is. We've got like advertisements, I guess you'd call them. People like letting us know what their businesses are and things
Yes,
like
and do
this.
that.
Yeah, yeah. If you've got a business that you're looking to get started or promote, then yeah, just send us whatever you want. It can be an ad, it can be an article about what you do. If you're running a course or anything like that, send it in because we want to promote within our community, right? And
Fuck
that's
yeah.
who we want to deal with. You want to deal
Yeah.
with people that you know are on your level, right? And ethical and on the right frequency.
It's cool, man. I love it. I love that we're getting out of the digital era, going back to the physical world. And of course, it's a safeguard. If anything does collapse with the internet. And of course, worldwide now we've got these fucking digital IDs being rolled out in Britain and all over Europe and all over Asia and all over everywhere, including Australia. And we're all going to hate that. Yes, there'll be workarounds. Yes, we'll sort out some way of getting through it. But the newspapers is something excellent for the years ahead of us. I really feel that in relation to uncensored content from within our community, for our community, supporting our community, servicing our community, and promoting our community. And that's fuck yeah. Look, I'm on a fuck roll today. Look. Sorry, everyone
Yeah.
who cares still about that.
So links below, guys. Get involved. And yes, subscribe.